There are three different major types of Yu-Gi-Oh card: spell, trap, and monster. Now, spells are always green and have a green attribute symbol in the top right corner. Traps are always purple and have a purple attribute symbol in the top right corner, but monsters can take on many different colors and have a lot of varying features. Let's start by talking about spells and traps. Spells and traps can have one of these 6 symbols. They might have none of them, which would make it a normal spell or a normal trap, but these symbols distinguish whether or not a card is a field spell, or a continuous spell, or a continuous trap, or an equipment spell, or a ritual spell, or a quick play spell, or a counter trap. These cards also have a card name, which can be found in the top left corner. 2 cards with the same name are considered to be the same card, so as you're only allowed to run 3 copies of the same card in your deck, unless it's on the semi-limited or limited list, just because you have 2 different artworks does not mean you can run more than 3 different copies in your deck. The last feature that's consistent with all cards in Game of Yu-Gi-Oh! Is this large text box where cards' effects can be found. With the exception of a normal monster, which has flavor text, or which is kind of an interesting story, or something cute or funny, will be the effect of the card. What does that card do? How does it impact the game? If another card is specified on the text of another card's effect, that name will be found in quotation marks. If it's not in quotation marks, it's referring to all cards that include that phrase, such as Archfiend. All cards that include the word Archfiend are cards that this card refers to. Let's now talk about features that are distinctly exclusive to monsters, although we will save pendulum monsters and link monsters for a future episode. All monsters have a type and an attribute. Their attribute can be found on the top right, in which there are 7 of them: Earth, Fire, Wind, Water, Light, Dark, and Divine. A monster's type can be located on the top left of its text box, and there are 25 different types. A monster can be a machine, or a dragon, or a zombie. When referring to a card's attribute on a card, it will say the attribute in capital letters, such as Fire. If a card's being referenced by its type, it will say Beast-type. On the lower right portion of the card, you can find the attack and defense of a monster. Attack is shorthanded as ATK, and defense is shorthanded as DEF. We'll discuss how attack and defense values come in play when we talk about battle in a future episode. The last feature that's unique to monsters is the level. Levels are located on the top right of the card and are usually in orange. On what is called an Xyz monster, they are black, and they are actually not levels, they are referred to as rank. Levels, rank, pendulum scale, and link rating are all in reference to how to summon a monster, and what its requirements are to be summoned. And we'll discuss all the individual ways in which a monster can be summoned in their own individual videos. In our next video, we're going to be talking about the duel field. If you found this video helpful, please be sure to share it with others, like the video and subscribe, and you can reach the next episode by clicking the link above.